Welcome to another Polkadot tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to explain the concept of existential deposit. If your account balance goes below the existential deposit, your account will be ripped and the remaining funds will be burned. This is to avoid the existence of the so-called dust accounts that they do not have enough funds to perform useful action on chain. But you need to understand that ripping an account is not a negative thing. Your account will still be yours and you can still revive the account by topping it up with some more tokens. Before diving into today's tutorial, if you find these videos helpful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below, as this will help other people to find our content. And if there is something that we didn't cover yet and that you are interested in, drop us a message. And here we are on the Polkadot.js user interface. We are currently connected to an RPC node on the Westend network. Westend is a testnet, and we will use for this example Westend tokens. We have two accounts, Dan and Frank. Dan has 0.03 Westies, Westend tokens, and Frank has more than 11 Westies. We will try to transfer some tokens from Dan to Frank. We go and click on send. We specify the sender is Dan, the receiver is Frank. Then we specify the amount of tokens. The existential deposit is 10 milli Westend tokens, which is equivalent to 0.01 Westend tokens. And if the account balance goes below this amount, the account will be ripped and the remaining funds will be burned. But as I said, do not worry, the account will still be yours. You can still have access to it, and you can revive it by topping it up with more tokens. In this case, we are sending 0.01, so make transfer. The fees for this transaction are 15 milli Westend tokens, equivalent to 0.015 Westend tokens. And we can already understand that 0.015 of fees plus 0.01 of the balance that we would like to transfer makes 0.025, and with the balance that we have, 0.03, we will not have enough tokens after this transaction to keep the account alive, so to keep it on the blockchain, because we will not have 0.01 Westend tokens. So we try this anyway. We will sign and submit this transaction. The browser extension will display some information about what we are doing. This is a balances transfer keep alive extrinsic, which means that there will be a check before executing actually the transaction that we will have enough funds to keep our account alive, so that we will have the existential deposit. If we will not have the existential deposit after this transaction, the balance will not be transferred, but we will actually pay anyway for the fees. Let's sign with the password for this account. And we can see here balances.KeepAlive error. So we are not actually able to transfer our balance of 0.01 Westend tokens. But we can see here we started with 0.03 and now we are 0.014. The missing balance is basically the fees. So we paid for the fees, but actually we were not able to transfer what we wanted to transfer because we didn't have enough funds to maintain the existential deposit. So as I said, you don't have to worry about dropping the balance below the existential deposit. You will be able to even have a zero balance. Your account will be still yours, and you can revive it by topping it up with some more tokens. In this case here, we don't have even enough balance to pay for the transaction fee. So if you click on send and we decide to send some more tokens to Frank, this is what we did before, the transfer keep alive check enabled. We can also see there is an additional message that the transaction after application of the transfer fee will drop the available balance below the existential deposit and the transfer will fail. In this case, even if we uncheck this, that we don't want to do a keep alive check and we make transfer, the transaction will actually fail because we don't have enough funds to pay for the fees. So we can see we need 15 milli Westend tokens, which is 0.015 Westend tokens. Our balance is below this amount. So if we sign and submit, we can see here invalid transaction, inability to pay for some fees. So the account balance is too low. So what we can do here, we go and we select Frank. We send from Frank to Dan. In this case, we can try to uncheck the keep alive and to transfer the full account balance, read the sender. Click on make transfer, sign and submit. The transaction was successful. We can see here that the balance of Frank now is 0 Western tokens. The account is still there. We didn't lose the account. We didn't lose access to it. We can still revive it. And we can do this by sending some tokens from Dan to Frank. So we can send some tokens, make transfer, sign and submit. We can see the account has 1 Western token and it's still alive. So we revived this account. Alright, I hope you learned something today about transfer keep alive's check, existential deposit, account reaping, and that reaping an account is not a negative thing. Remember, you can always revive your account and have access to it as long as you have your seed phrase or your JSON backup file. Thank you for watching, and I see you in another video.